Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, before I proceed, I also publish on Rumble, on Patreon, PayPal, Twitter, all that stuff here. So, we got more info regarding the power connector update here. Supposedly, quietly, NVIDIA has been now updating their connectors on the 4090, in this case the Founders Editions, which is the ones that they have control on, without making any claims. So basically this is spotted out, which is basically assuming the blame that the connector itself was not made proper, and in fact, to a certain degree, cannot be pointed out as a user error of not properly inserting the pin. J2Sense made a video. In one of those videos that he made regarding this situation, I saw that or I demonstrated there that I covered this, I don't know, almost a week ago at least. When with the connector seated properly, it will wiggle. It came out almost at least 1 millimeter out of the thing here, the connector, which gives and given the compounded effect of the connector itself, the pins itself, there is like a dimple connector kind of thing, and plus a clamp connector. There are different designs. I think the most safe to a certain degree it's NTK, and the other one is Astro something, which is less safe to the point that making the proper connection in terms of surface contact, it creates more resistance, or it tends to create more resistance, and it has around less 60% the surface area regarding the other one. A lot of things that are being compounded in effect, especially on the 4090s, because of the power demand of the GPU itself. At least no, a maximum of 600 watts, given that the 4080 doesn't use that much. I think it's around I think it has a limit of 450 if not mistaken, and that doesn't create the same tension in the cable and the connection itself, and the resistance is not, if there is any, there is no enough resistance on the connection itself to create heat buildup here. But yeah, this is one of those shenanigans that these corporations do. They quietly kind of upgrading. Mainly the fix they are making at the moment, it's shortening the pins here, the sense pins. Basically, because if you shorten the sense, if the connection is not, the connector is not fully seated, it doesn't connect the sense pin, with the PSU side, and basically the PSU doesn't deliver power to the connector if it's not properly seated. It's a way to go around of just like emergency shut off to a certain degree, which is better. Of course, what it's being implemented. I don't know why they didn't do the proper testing and Q&A things with this kind of connector here. Again, I think still that this connector should have been a little bit larger, regarding the spacing here, the same size as the 8-pin connector that were used before on the GPUs, because it gives, in terms of manufacturers, gives a little bit more tolerance on the construction of these things, given that this is plastic. It's molded, I suppose, but yeah, but gives away of the fact that the pins can be a little bit thicker, and create a little bit more surface area. But yeah, it is what it is at the moment. I think this revision increases the safety and decrease the probability of the GPUs burning out. With that said, I give you here this opinion. J2Sense explains a little bit better because he has some graphics. Astrom connectors and NTK, that this is the one that I was talking about, the dimple one and the clamp one. It goes about, it can be a little bit longer, but it's very self-explanatory, and it goes about the revisions they are going to make on the connector itself. And I think it's a good comprehensive video of what the basically of the compounding troubles and problems that the 12 volt power managed to get, especially on the 4090s, because basically 99% of the cases were 4090s. I think 1 or 2 4080, I'm not sure, but yeah, he goes about it. I'll leave a link of his video. He explains very well because of the aids of graphics. I cannot do any editing on my PC, on my poor laptop. That's why the videos are always kind of live. I just record and go about it. But yeah, they are NVIDIA, at least on the Founders Edition, they are already starting to manufacture with a revision. At least the remedied sense pins, from what I understood, and the revision, of course, recommends these NTK pins instead of the Astron, because I think mainly of, I don't know if like manufacturing issues or the fact of the availability of the connectors. I think almost like 2/3 of the connectors that are out there for this 12 volt power is from Astron, instead of the NTK, and basically they just recommend basically the NTK and for manufacturers to scrap the Astron one. But yeah, basically from this, I hope with this revision, only in a few months with the new revision already implemented in PSUs and on the new GPUs that will come out. I'm not sure if they're going to manage to implement this on the 4090s, because it's the most relevant case for this kind of situation. I don't know. It will be good, as J2Sense proposed, like as an idea for them to at least offer a service. I don't know how they can manage to do this with. I don't know if they have like official repair shops with GPUs, or with even with where you buy, for example, with Microcenter in the United States, if they can grant a service, not for free, because I understand it's going to demand a lot of stuff here, but at least for a price, a good price, to like substitute the things here, the connectors, especially on the sense pins here, and maybe if to analyze if you have like an NTK or Astron cable and replace with it for a fair or for a cheap price. I think it would be a good option, at least in terms of publicity and how they can at least minimize the bad image that NVIDIA has at the moment. I think it will be a good way of going about it, but yeah, this is not going to happen. In a perfect world, of course, this will never happen, but at least they could remedy the situation with this. Yeah, for this NVIDIA stuff, the 12 power, I think we should have like an update in a few months to see how it goes, if there is like continuing cases of things of 4090s burning up or something like that. But I think that the main thing is when the next or the refresh of the 40 series, because the 50 series, I think it's basically been delayed because of AI chips. I think NVIDIA is giving priority to that in terms of like wafer space with TSMC. I think they probably can make like a refresh on the 40s, like with super stuff or something like that. Or I think it's probably when we can see some implementation of this new revision of the pins here, or when the 50 series come out. AMD is not going to implement this for sure, even if they do like a refresh. Or with XTs or whatever they want to call it. I don't think we only if you're going to see it's after this revision it's done and it's properly implemented and there is no kind of basically issues coming about. And speaking with AMD, regarding AMD, there is like the 7900 XTX. It's available at $800 in the US. Now we are starting to talk about a good deal regarding the 7900 XTX. It's a very good deal comparing with the situation as it is in terms of how this price should be situated, at least less $50 at the moment. It should have been launched around $850, the XTX, and if there was like $100 now, which is like $750, it will be an excellent deal. But still, this is a very good deal, taking into account of the price market of the GPUs now. This is on Newegg. The card itself, this is an ASRock Phantom Gaming. It's not the top GPU from AIB's, but still it's like in the middle of the road between the founders, or the default one from AMD, and the top overclocked ones. It has like basically it's almost 5% overclock compared to AMD kind of vanilla stuff there. It is at $899, so $900, but you can, with the ZipTech thing, coupon, you can get it for $800. There is like a screenshot of demonstrating of the coupon applied. This is, and plus of course the Starfield bundle is already active. I think it started yesterday, so you got basically this is with the premium edition, this GPU. So if you take advantage of this and the fact that you extract value from the game itself, it's basically almost like $100, the premium version, sorry. So basically you get the GPU basically almost for $700 if you already thought on buying this game. But yeah, at the moment, in the price to performance, even the 4080, it's around I think I covered in a few days ago, like $1,000. It's still AMD. It's managed to at least incentivize their GPUs to get around $200 less, at least between the XTX and the 4080 versions. I think the 7900 XT should be around like $600. I think it will be a way good deal, because even the XT plays 4K at acceptable levels, even though 1440p it's better than at 4K. But 4K, it's very playable. You can get good frame rates with that one. But yeah, this one now it's a very good deal, taking into account the competition and the availability of GPUs on the market. $800, I think, is an excellent. It's a very good deal. Excellent if it was less $50. My opinion is this is a very good deal. I think it's if you're building a new system and you have 4K in mind, I think this is excellent GPU for you if you get it at this price point, of course. And continuing with AMD, they finally released at least the Fidelity FX, the SDK 1.0, which is basically their development kit for developers to introduce their technologies, of course FSR and everything, all the package that they have, because before it could only be implemented technology by technology. There wasn't like a package which is basically an SDK to put in a bundle and install it and tweak it as developers needed. As you can see, that they have a lot of stuff like Fidelity Blur, depth of field, lens, and then we have all the Cacao, CAS, super resolution, parallel port, all these things here. Now it's in the bundle for developers to integrate it on their games in a more easier way. Doesn't excuse the fact that the FSR thingy here regarding games, I don't know what's... I have to assume that they are blocking the implementation or encouraging developers not to introduce DLSS on sponsored AMD titles. I just hope that it's not the case, and if it is, they just revert back to open, not prohibiting or not encouraging the blocking of the other technologies, especially at this case the upscaling technologies from NVIDIA and Intel. But yeah, at least it's we might see now in terms of implementing in older games, because I think FSR in older games, there is not a huge library, but I think it now can be handled better from what I understood. And of course in the newer games it will be more easy to implement. Regarding now gaming news, we got some rumors that Need for Speed Most Wanted Remake is possible. for next year, supposedly. There was the Simon Bailey, which was one of the voices of the characters, the police one, the undercover police on the game. I really enjoyed this game. I played when it came out. I think it's one of the best Need for Speed games, especially how they went about the story and the game loop there. Of course, it's a very old game, but still it's very playable. Even because this is from 2005, it's almost 20 years, this game. It's 18 years, this game, basically. But yeah, she basically said, I think this is from Instagram post, something like that. It's everything is erased, but somebody managed to screenshot it. That Need for Speed Most Wanted remake being released in 2024, so next year. There is already like they made basically a reboot of the series. The last game that they launched, so this is from 2012, but the last game they launched, I really didn't. It was very meh for me. All the stuff that they introduced there with the effects, just turned off for me, and any kind of excitement that I had for that game. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. If there is, if it is for 2024, the remake of this game, we shall have proper news during this year. If it is really coming out, I assume it is, because this is the voice actor. So we'll see how it goes. And lastly, here we got the Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown kind of showcase. I managed to quick watch. There was not a lot of, there was some info coming out, but the showcase, it was basically half an hour. It was basically a lot of people like co-playing on the game. It was in the alpha stage. The game was supposedly has been delayed to next year again. It was announced 2020. Supposedly was to come around yesterday, last year, then for this year, but now it's been delayed for next year, so 2024. We will see a lot of this with like not AAA games because of the lockdown stuff and everything, and remote working. It delayed a lot of stuff, and I prefer that they delay and have more time to fine-tune the games. I really enjoyed the Test Drive Unlimited 2, which was based on Hawaii Island, I think, of one of the Hawaii Islands. This one is on Hong Kong Island. Yeah, seems okay. It was alpha build from the game, so there is no like, it was good enough. But if you're interested to check out, it was basically co-op play. Basically, we don't see like a lot of going in deep too much on the system mechanics. We got some like character customization highlights there. They use the same cars. They didn't talk about too much of the cars. It was just playing around and trying to get a hang on the game. But yeah, when I get better information, I will let you know. But regardless, if you're interested in checking the showcase here, the links are in the description. And I'm going to wrap up here for some gaming deals. This is the last day for the summer sale. I already covered a lot of these games that I'm going to announce here, and there is a huge amount of games that I covered since the Steam summer sale started. So I refer to you to those videos to check out the deals that I mentioned at that time. And for today we got BioShock the collection, so every game, the remastered versions of the first and second game, plus DLC, plus BioShock Infinite and their DLC for $15, give or take. Because for me it's 12 because I already have BioShock Infinite and I made a series on it. But from what I understood, it's no, I can save. Sorry, I revert back what I said. I think I'm not sure if they're taking into account this 79. No, they are taking into account. Okay, so $12 for the free games with the DLCs. It's a good deal. It's one of those must play, at least the first one. and you'll find out that you will see in newer games a lot of influence from BioShock, the first one. We got Children of Morta, which is like an indie game. Again, it's a roguelike. You can co-op or multiplayer. It's based around hack and slash, the gameplay loop, but it's pretty good from what I saw. It's 75% off, $5, or you can do the complete edition. It has some DLC here. I think it's some extra content for $2 more, basically, so $8, give or take. I think it's excellent. If you like roguelike, this is one of those that you need to play and try out. It's a shame that it doesn't have a demo, but it is what it is. We got also Doom, the reboot version, so 75% off, or if you want Doom franchise, here is 70% off on all the Dooms. You have to buy all the Dooms here, even the older ones. And of course there is also Doom Eternal. We got in this one they screwed up the pooch. There's a lot of versions here. I think the deluxe version has the playable DLC here, so 67% off, around $23, give or take. We've got also The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. This is one of those RPGs that you need to play, regardless if you like The Witcher lore or not, in terms of how they're going about it, the quest designs, the story, and the world building. This is one of those that you need to play. I've got this on GOG already. I don't have on the Steam, but it's one of those that I would like to also buy on Steam, because it's such a good game that I buy it in every platform that I could, even on Epic Games, just to incentivize that and give and pass my opinion that this game is a very good one, and the more sales they have, they can at least pass the message that with your wallet that it is an excellent game. Of course, you need to buy. I really recommend the complete edition. It's 70% off, $15. It's still a very excellent game in terms of graphic wise, and if you think it could be better, you can always have the mod community around it. It's excellent, and it's well maintained, and you got from visual mods to gameplay mods to quest mods. They have a lot of stuff from The Witcher 3. Continuing, we got Red Dead Redemption 2, 70% off the Ultimate Edition, so $27, give or take. It's an open world Western feel here. It's one of those I'm very curious to play with. I didn't play the first one or the prequels per se, the other games that were based on the Red Dead characters, but it's one of those that I would like to play and try out. Also, we got Marvel's Midnight Suns. Again, this is one of those kind of XCOM kind of games, but this is with deck building in mind instead of abilities. So the abilities are the cards. Basically, it has some RNG factor on the card draw and everything, but it's very, very, very good. I watched the Dark Hunter gameplay through Christopher Odd, and I really, really enjoy it, and I really want to make my own gameplay series if possible. I advise to buy the Midnight Suns Legendary Edition. It has the extra characters. It's really good. The characters that have been introduced in the mechanics complement the characters you already have, and that you can bring to the combat. And they have each of them have like story missions associated with them. And yeah, the story is very good. More, from what I understood, it's more comic book lore, similar than the movies. So don't take into account the movie stuff, even though main character storylines and everything are to a certain degree cross around several media. But yeah, it's a very good game, and I really, really do recommend if you like kind of XCOM games. Atomic Heart, of course, first-person shooter. You got a demo for this one, and it's basically 40% off for the premium edition. They are going to launch, or they already launched the first DLC, which is one of the vaults, from what I understood. It's or the labs. I don't understand very well the mechanics, because I really managed to get out of spoilers on these kind of games that I don't play, but I really, really want to play. But yeah, it's got my interest. I really want to check this game out. I think it's way better in terms of performance. There was some issues regarding performance when it came out, but I think it's already patched to the point that it's very playable. There is no like major breaking bugs or something like that. Again, this is Unreal Engine 4. You're always going to see, to a certain degree, some stuttering here and there, but it's not game breaking at this point now through the patches that they made. And lastly, we got Dead Space Remake. Again, it's been I played the first one like 2 or 3 times. I really enjoyed the first one. The second one also I enjoyed it, not as much as the first one. And this, from what I saw from all the reviews, it's an improvement on the first one. As the core elements there, as some they fine-tuned some of the mechanics there, and you got more space exploration or space travel, or zero G. It's more accurate to say that, zero G exploration and combat and all that stuff. From what I understood, there is no loading screens supposedly, because the ship is interconnected. You don't have like the tram scenes that basically disguise the loading screens. But yeah, it's more fluid, of course, upgraded visuals, improved physics from what I understood also. So it's one of those must play. 40% off, $50, the deluxe edition, or it has the extra spacesuits, I think, and more DLC here from what I understood. It's one of those that you really play, and I think that in terms of patching the game, I think it's good. And you can try the demo. It's like 90 minutes. It's 1 hour and a half. It's a lot. You can play a lot in 1 hour and a half. But yeah, this is one of those, if you like horror space sci-fi, it's very good. So I'm going to wrap up for today, guys, with my GoGetFundMe for me to upgrade my PC to get better, more content for my private clients, and start doing some video stuff for them also. And of course, in my free spare time, do the daily videos with better quality, doing some scripted content for some deep dives and some stuff that I like to talk about, resume my gameplay series, and probably do some live streams in the near future. And with all that said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Till then, Kunamy Master out.